Australia. Probably one of, if not the greatest nation on Earth. I mean, you got beautiful weather, exotic wildlife, and a wonderful array of friendly locals.
'Cause I live in a shithole!
Truly, what is not to love about Australia? The Team Fortress 2 devs seem to share my love of this delightful country, which is why in TF2, Australia is a hyper-advanced supercontinent comprised of some of the smartest, strongest, and best-looking residents, all of which is fueled by the ultra-rare mineral australium. You're all likely very familiar with australium. I mean, australium has turned a generation of hopeful young TF2ers with bright futures ahead of them into degenerate gambling addicts, me included. To put it simply, Australia is a beast. And nowhere is this more prevalent than the CEO of Mann Co himself, Saxton Hale. Now, Hale is probably the most Australian person you will ever meet. I mean, just look at him. But I'm here to show you that Saxton Hale is a fraud and a LARPer. He's not Australian. He can't be. Because he's not even real. So I'm going to start by addressing the elephant in the room. The man is obviously Australian. So why am I making this video at all?
Because it's fucking funny, Kyle! It's called having a sense of humor and laughing! You should fucking try it once in a while!
This video was suggested by good friend of the channel Sticky over on Twitter. @bongomatic1136, go follow me. And it was simply too juicy to pass up. So without further ado, I'm going to start by defining what an Australian even is in TF2 lore. Australia in TF2 is an ultra-advanced, futuristic utopia, which is actually the exact opposite of real life. And australium is an ultra-rare and powerful metal that can extend life, make you ultra-muscular and masculine, allows you to grow absurd facial hair, and can even bring people back to life. Australia's main export is australium, boom, futuristic utopia. So the Australians are smarter, handsomer, and more civil than anybody else. Now, Saxton Hale? He seems like he fits that description to a T. Ultra strong? Check. Ultra masculine? Check. Ultra intelligent? You see, throughout his appearances, Saxton Hale is never depicted as being particularly intelligent. I mean, Hale gets outsmarted by an old fuck geriatric patient and an 8-year-old girl at his own game. You see, in Hale's attempt to win back Mann Co from the dastardly Grey Man after he took it over with robots, he initiates a fighting duel. Grey then appoints his 8-year-old daughter as head of Mann Co, forcing Hale to resign, as he cannot bring himself to punch a little girl in the face. Now riddle me this. Would a hyper-intelligent superhuman Australian be outsmarted by this guy? I thought not. But doesn't this prove that he has honor? I mean, he's sticking to his own code of conduct and not punching a child in the face. But you're wrong. You're telling me Saxton Hale won't punch a child, but he will punch an endangered species until it fucking explodes. Now, I'm not Australian, but it seems like conservation of wildlife is a pretty big deal over there. I mean, arguably the most famous Australian's entire thing was the preservation of endangered species. Does it seem very Australian to kick the shit out of one? Saxton Hale? More like Saxton Fail. He also burned down an entire zoo because he couldn't fight the animals. Okay, whatever. Saxton Hale kills animals, big deal. But he has an Australian accent, and his chest hair is in the shape of the country. But you're wrong! That doesn't prove anything. Prolonged exposure to australium can just do that. You take enough australium, you'll start growing crazy facial and body hair. You'll create fucking Australia-shaped holes when you break through brick walls. You'll start speaking in an Australian accent. None of this proves that Saxton Hale's Australian. It just proves that he uses australium. Saxton Hale is just abusing the fuck out of the TF2 equivalent of steroids. In the TF2 universe, anyone can seem Australian enough if they just snort this stuff. But can you prove with 100% certainty that Saxton Hale is not Australian? Let me answer that question with a question. Can you prove that he is Australian? Because last I checked, we never received any official documentation from Valve clearly stating that Hale is Australian. This, in conjunction with the evidence I mentioned before, is making me lean towards the idea that Saxton Hale might not even be Australian. Saxton Hale's an Australian LARP. He's just pretending that he is Australian. And why wouldn't he? Australians are awesome. They're practically immortal, insanely smart, powerful, they're handsome. Again, in TF2, I'm not sure about real life.
In a shithole!
Saxton Hale is to Australia what weeaboos are to Japan. But if Saxton Hale isn't Australian, what is he? Now you're starting to ask the right questions. Are you ready to have your mind blown? Prepare yourself, because this is what the entire video has been building up to. I don't know. It really feels like there's some piece of the puzzle missing here. Why would Valve, a studio notorious for their attention to detail, intentionally leave this breadcrumb trail if it just leads to nothing? I mean, the guy's a walking caricature of a hyper-masculine Australian. Obviously, he's gonna be an Australian. But why? Why make him so unlike the Australians that we know? There's just a lot in the lore that doesn't make sense. Amelia Earhart in a hot dog costume. Abe Lincoln rocket jumping. All of this ultra rare Australian mustache science. I mean, it just doesn't seem real. Oh my god. Saxton Hale isn't Australian. The man's not even real! How can Saxton Hale be Australian if the man isn't even real in the first place? Now there's a pretty clear line that ties all of this crazy Australian stuff right to this conclusion. Let's start with the mercenaries. Where do they get their guns and their knives and their bats and their rocket launchers? Mann Co. Who owns Mann Co? Saxton Hale. Where's Saxton Hale from? Oh, he's from this hyper-futuristic continent full of manly men with big muscles and mustaches. It's almost like Saxton Hale isn't actually a CEO. He's just like a mascot. What seems more appealing to a mercenary? This boring, stinky gun designed by big wig suits from New York? Or this gun designed from the redneck, ultra-strong kangaroo fighting yeti punching outback surviving superhuman wrapped in gold worth more than your mortgage? You ever think about how the mercenaries are getting shot with miniguns and shotguns and sniper rifles and they're surviving? Miniguns only do like 7 damage per hit. Uncharged headshots only do like 150 damage. That isn't enough to kill any class with a medic. Headshots in real life typically have a habit of instantly killing people. Well, the reason why none of the guns function like actual guns is because they're just horribly manufactured. Do you think Mann Co cares about the quality of their product? No! They sell guns that are duct taped together. They sell guns that you legally should not be able to sell. They sell everyday household items as weapons. They sell the righteous bison. Mann Co is just cost cutting to make money. Why do you think all the weapons come with downsides? It isn't to balance the game. This is war we're talking about. It's just because Mann Co is cheap. Imagine showing up to a war zone and the dude next to you pulls out a rocket launcher that does nothing. This is the reality of the mercenaries. And it's all because of Saxton Hale. Could you imagine that? A CEO who is portrayed as being a lot more personable and charismatic to the industry that they're selling to. Actively lying about the stuff that they sell. Selling low quality and borderline illegal products. And being used as a mascot to just absorb any criticism. Hey, what's this doing here? At everyone, I have an announcement to make. This video may seem very familiar to some of you. That's because I've already uploaded it. But YouTube decided that I had said some naughty stuff, so they algorithm suppressed me, which sucks. So I had to rewrite, re-edit, and re-record the old video with new parts without any of the naughty stuff. In my opinion, the other video was way better, but I had to dumb it down for YouTube censors, and I already put a ton of work into it. It's already a fully completed video. I feel like it's super unfair that you guys can't see it, so Ko-Fi. If you want to see the director's cut of this video without any YouTube censorship, with all the naughty stuff still in it, go check out my Ko-Fi. $3 a month, you're supporting the channel, I'll put your name at the end of my videos. I tried to make it as cheap as I could, but I'm broke as shit right now, and YouTube really isn't helping, like at all. So if you want to support me, that would be awesome. Or you could just support me by watching my videos, which you've already done, so thanks. Okay, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Goodbye.